Too strong. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Malia J here, and we're back with another video. If any of you are from my old channel, thank you guys so much for coming follow me on the new channel again. So let's jump straight right into today's video. That's so good. Something I think we all eventually need to learn to do is to stop oversharing. What I've learned is that fear can be transmitted and then absorbed subconsciously. And what that means is that when you share your dreams or goals with someone, it opens up a door to that person's fears and negativity. Meaning, if that person has a fear about something that you're trying to accomplish, either they're scared for themselves or for you, they may unintentionally put that fear onto you subconsciously if you were never scared about it, or they may have a negative emotion or feeling to it, which is a low vibrational frequency. And that low vibrational frequency may be transferred to your dream or goal. It pushes that thing further away from you because of that person's low vibration or negative feelings towards your dream or goal. And so sometimes we have to learn when to not talk to people about our dreams or goals. We have to learn when to start keeping certain things about our lives to ourselves, no matter how excited we are to tell that person, no matter how excited we are to show them or help them or all of the above. That everyone sees the world through their own lens. And so if everyone is seeing the world and experiencing the world from their own perception, that person may not be able to see that it is possible for you to reach them. They may not think that you are capable of that. They may have a fear about it. They may not think that it's even possible. And so, because they have a limited belief system on whatever it is that you're trying to do, you have to realize that you can't talk to everyone about your dreams or goals, especially those with limiting beliefs. Most of the time, it's those that are closest to us that aren't able to see our true capabilities, or they're not able to see us in a certain light. And what I mean by this is that 9 times out of 10, a complete stranger that don't know you may be able to believe in you and think that you're able to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, versus someone that's known you since you were little and you've always acted a certain way or you always were a certain way. And so that's how they see you in life and that's how they perceive you to always be. It's very hard, I'm learning, for our family and friends to notice or to accept us when we're changing and growing, especially if it's not a path that they wanted us to take, or it's not a path that they expected from us. So even if it's someone that you really love or someone that's close to you, whether your family or your friends is the person that you're trying to talk to, if you start to notice a repetitive action from them, which is that every time you talk about your dreams or goals and what you aspire to do, and they're always putting a negative vibration towards that, you have to know that it's time to pull back, not away from the relationship necessarily speaking, but away from that certain conversation. You have to start to learn who to talk about what with, because you can't talk to everybody about everything, because they may have a limited belief on something that you have a positive belief on. They may put low vibrational energy towards whatever it is that you're trying to attract unintentionally, or that person may have went through something or is going through something, and so they tried to achieve the same thing that you did, and because they couldn't get there, they're jealous of you actually making progress towards their dream or goal. So they are intentionally, unintentionally putting negative emotions and vibrations towards your dreams or goals, which can affect you in a negative way. So because of that, you need to watch who you're talking to about what. And it doesn't matter if they're blood or non-blood relation. This goes for everyone, because everyone is perceiving the world from their own perception. Jealousy is an emotion that everyone feels at some point in their life, even if it's unintentional jealousy. So be careful with who you're telling what to about what you're doing. Sometimes you need to realize that certain conversations are not for everyone. And that's something that I had to learn, especially when you're on two different journeys and you are friends with someone or you're family with someone and they don't understand the journey you're on. You don't want to necessarily become a recluse and be like, okay, well, I can't talk to you about it, don't worry about it, I'm done with you, I'm gonna go live under a rock and never talk to anyone ever again. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying to just be mindful of the conversations you're having. You should, if it's a true friendship, if it's a true family relationship and you really truly love each other, the relationship will still be there. Other conversations will still be there without you having to have certain conversations with them about a dream or goal you have, or about something you're trying to do that they don't believe in. And this is something for my people who are, if you're like me, if you like to help people and always help people solve problems that they're having, you have to realize that you are not the savior of everyone. You cannot save everyone. Some people will choose ignorance because it's peaceful, or because they can't see the bigger picture. They can't see the bird's eye view. Some people will choose to complain and never take action. Some people will choose to remain ignorant and think that certain things are impossible, even if you show them that it is possible. Some people will choose to listen but never hear. And in those cases, in those instances, you have to realize that you cannot save everyone. You cannot be the savior of everyone. And some people just don't want to be saved. Although you love those people, although you love them, you have to leave them where they are. You have to continue on your path of elevation and success. And some people will be left behind by choice. You need to start paying attention to people, how they act, how they react to things. Realize what kind of people are. You have to pay attention to see if someone is a person that likes to complain but never take the advice, if someone is a person that likes to remain ignorant and has limited beliefs and don't want to move past that. You have to realize if some people have negative emotions and negative feelings and vibrations towards certain things that you're trying to do. And in all of those cases, that's when you realize that certain conversations cannot be had with those people. If you continuously are trying to help someone better themselves, or you're trying to continuously help someone start a better journey than the one they're on, and they're constantly putting negative vibrations out there to you and to themselves, you have to eventually realize that this person is choosing this. You can only do so much, you can only be there so much. It gets to a point in time where you have to realize certain people choose suffering, even if it is unintentionally. And sometimes some people will choose suffering no matter how many doors you open for them to see a way out. And eventually, it takes a very strong person to realize that you can love a person, but you have to walk away because they're not helping themselves. And you can only extend out yourself so much to the point to where if it starts to break you, you have to leave. If it starts to hurt you, you have to leave the situation alone. You have to move on. And that is something that I'm still learning to do because, like I said, I'm still a person who, no matter how negative a person can be towards my dreams or goals, no matter how negative a person can be towards a solution that I'm trying to provide to them, I always still try to urge them to try it out, because you don't know until you try something. And obviously, if they're in a certain situation where I see that nothing else they're doing is working, it really pains me to see them still refuse because they have certain limited beliefs about it. But no matter how limited or negative their beliefs are, I still try to push them to do better for themselves, even if they don't want to be better for themselves. So even if a person is putting out negative energy, negative vibrations, limited beliefs, when I'm trying to help them and push them to be better for themselves, at some point it's hard for me to accept that they don't want to be better for themselves. And so it's still a journey that I'm on. It's still something that I'm trying to overcome. And if you're trying to overcome it as well, you're not alone. Eventually, guys, we're going to have to get to a point where we have to realize that some people don't want to be saved, and some people will have to remain where they are, and that's okay. We're not all on the same journey, nor will we always experience the same journey, especially with those that are closest to us in our lives. We're going to go down different paths eventually, and we have to come to a point of acceptance. If you are a person who really values the input of those around you that you love and care about, and you take it to heart what they say, especially if you're excited about a certain journey you're on or certain goals that you're trying to reach, and they have a negative feeling or negative or limited belief towards what you're excited to tell them about, You have to get to a point where you do not allow other people's opinions and limited and negative beliefs impact your own beliefs and your own journey. You have to allow yourself to make your own opinions and commitments about what you want to be and what you want to do in life, and if it is a dream and goal that you really truly want to achieve for yourself, because everyone else is honestly just background noise, just opinions. In certain situations, you have to realize that you can you cannot put your dreams off because other people don't believe in them. You cannot put your goals off because other people have limited beliefs and negative feelings towards them. You will stay stagnant if you always live your life based off of other people's opinions and feelings about your dreams or goals. At some point, guys, we have to realize that we have to allow our family and friends to have their own opinions and perceptions on life about certain dreams and goals that we're trying to attain for ourselves, and let it be just that, an opinion and a perception, not a statement, not a fact, not a truth, not something that we have to take to heart and then change our mind and push ourselves back further from attaining what it is that we're trying to attain. You have to go out and get what you want for you. You cannot allow other people's opinions to stop you from doing what you think and what you truly feel is best for you. A lot of us get too caught up in what our parents, our friends, our brother, sister, auntie, cousins have to say because we care about them so much. Take the opinions, take the perceptions, consider different scenarios, and then still come to your own conclusion about what's best for you and move on that. Because at some point, you have to realize that the person you was yesterday may not be the person you are today. The person you was 2 months ago, 2 years ago, may not be the person you are now. What I'm noticing is that mostly with our family and friends, they don't see the person that we're changing into every single day. They have a certain mental image and picture of us in their minds of how we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be doing, the kind of person we were, and that's the person that's in their head, the person we were, not the person we are. And because they grew up with us and they've known us for so long, they don't always see the different sides of you that has changed. So therefore, they may not be able to tell you what's best for you in this moment because you're an entirely different person than you were yesterday, 2 months ago, or 2 years ago. So therefore, you always have to make sure that even though everyone has their own opinions, you're taking into consideration the type of person you are now, the type of goals that you're trying to achieve, and if what you're going to be doing is the next best step for you. You're a completely different person with completely different values and a completely different perception on life. And you evolve from who you used to be. We change every day. Every day that we get an opportunity to learn something new, we become a different person. We become either better or worse depending on the path and journey that we're taking. Don't allow family or friends limiting beliefs to deter you from your dreams or goals. Unless there are negative people who are constantly negative and putting low vibrational feelings out and you don't want to be around that, unless that is the case, I'm not saying to detach yourself away from everybody but simply don't take everything they say to heart. Don't take their limiting or ignorant beliefs to heart. Still be your own person, still show them love and kindness, and still have conversations with them, still interact with them. Just be mindful of the conversations you have. Just be mindful of the dreams or goals you talk about, because you don't know who feels what, and you don't want unintentional negative emotions put out there for whatever it is that you're trying to attract in this moment. This conversation today is really coming from the heart because I'm a person that likes to talk to anyone about elevating their lives and things that I'm learning, and I get shut down so much to the point where it really bothers me, because it's like, I know this works, I know this could be better for you, I just need you to put in the time and effort on this, and this could help you out in this certain area of life. But a lot of people, I guess due to how young I am, or due to the fact that they look at certain areas of my life and don't see success in certain areas, they figure, oh, okay, this not gonna work, she talking out her ass. But remember, guys, the people that you always least expect always surprises you. And when you get successful or get to your point of destination, everyone wants to come around, everyone wants to help, everyone wants you to do it for them, everyone wants you to show them, even though you've been telling them from day one, right? And so I say this to say that They may not believe in you now, but if you believe in yourself, keep going, keep pushing. That's all you have to do. If you believe in you and you know where you're trying to go, you get there, you get it done. Don't worry about everybody else's background noise and opinions and perceptions. Let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. You focus on what you got to do for yourself, because eventually, I'm telling you, you'll get to where you got to go. You'll get there. And it's only up from that point further. If you're doing the law of attraction and you're in your law of attraction phase and you're trying to attract those those dreams or those goals or those things to you, the law of attraction requires a certain type of level of delusion, right? Because, well, technically everything is a delusion, because we all live in our own individual realities, and we all live by our own belief systems. And a belief system is not something to say that it's truth. It doesn't mean that it's the universal truth. It may just be a belief system that's the truth for you, and you live your life by that. And that, in my opinion, is still a smaller version of a delusion. But I digress. When you're delusion with the law of attraction, you have to realize that you have to act like the person that you want to become. You have to portray yourself like that person. What would that person eat? How would that person walk? How would that person talk? What would that person be doing? You have to act like you already have all of the things that you desire to have, because you realize that you do. And some people may not believe you or see that, because they're looking from the outside in. They're not realizing that we all are abundant, but abundance does not mean that it's always in the physical realm yet. Abundance means it's attracting itself towards you. You already have it, it's just on its way. You're preparing yourself for it, or it's on a physical plane that we can't see with the naked eye. But eventually, at some point in time, it will attract itself to the 3D dimensional realm, because of all the work you put into attract it. When you're operating like that in life, some people may not get it. And so they may say sarcastic things or say low vibrational things if you know deep down within your heart that you're a wealthy person. But the people around you don't understand that. So they're like, you're not wealthy. You couldn't even pay this last week. You're not wealthy. You couldn't do this. That's when you got to realize that, okay, I can't say certain things around certain people. I can't do this around certain people because they don't get it yet. Just because they don't see it, they don't believe it. And because they don't believe it, their unintentional negative emotions and feelings are pushing my wealth further from me. And I don't want that. So let me limit what I say around them. If I'm wealthy, let me believe and know that I'm wealthy within myself. I hope you guys are tracking and really getting my point, because I feel like when I talk, I overcomplicate things a little bit, but it's not that I'm trying to overcomplicate it. I try to simplify it so much that I find myself, I guess, over talking or oversimplifying and repeating myself. But I'm really just trying to make sure you guys are getting this in your head, because repetition is key. If you hear something a certain amount of times, eventually something in the subconscious will click, which eventually will become conscious, and you will know that thing and be like, okay, got it. Don't separate yourself from them and feel like you have to take yourself out of their environment and never interact with them again. Unless they're negative people who are constantly negative and putting low vibrational feelings out and you don't want to be around that, unless that is the case, I'm not saying to detach yourself away from everybody you know, but simply don't take everything they say to heart. Don't take their limiting or ignorant beliefs to heart. Still be your own person, still show them love and kindness, and still have conversations with them, still interact with them. Just be mindful of the conversations you have. Just be mindful of the dreams or goals you talk about, because you don't know who feels what, and you don't want unintentional negative emotions put out there for whatever it is that you're trying to attract in this moment. So basically, I say all of this to say, be mindful with to who you have conversations with. Be mindful of what you're talking about with certain people. Pay attention to their actions, pay attention to their words. What are they saying about your dreams or goals? How are they acting towards your dreams or goals? And realize that you cannot discuss everything with everyone, even if you love them. You cannot always talk to people about everything that you do, You have to realize that everyone is not always rooting for you, even if they love you, because they may not understand what it is that you're trying to do or who it is you're trying to become. They may not even agree with it. And if they don't, those type of people will put unintentional negative low vibrational feelings towards your dreams or goals, which push them further from the person that you're trying to be or the goals that you're trying to achieve. So just be mindful. I hope this video was helpful today, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching.